Welcome to Gauteng Live, your premier destination Gauteng content platform. This is an inaugural show. My name is Baba Gauteng, the head of destination marketing at Gauteng Tourism. I'm quite excited to be hosting this platform. Today, we are going to be discussing everything about the business of events, business tourism, MICE, whatever name you want to refer it to. I'm joined by my colleague, the business guru in the events of tourism meetings and conferences space, Miss Noni Kubeka, who's the head of the Gauteng Convention Bureau. Noni, super welcome to this platform. I hope you're quite excited and also looking forward as the sector seems to be opening gradually.
Thank you for the opportunity. I'm very excited with the ignition of the industry and the revitalization of the events within the industry. It's quite overwhelming at the moment because everyone wants to do everything at the same time, but we were quite excited about the events that have just taken place last week, just opening up to the industry and starting to see even the back end of the industry opening up.
Perfect. So let's get into it. So is it business events? Is it business tourism? Is it meeting, incentive, conference, events, or exhibition? In the current day, what do we refer to this subsector in the visitor economy?
In the visitor economy, it's business tourism. But because, in the business of tourism, you've got business travelers, you've got corporate travelers, you've got the government, meetings, you've got incentive houses bringing their high-end management, and you've got leisure events in one. So people are traveling for a certain type of business, and that's why it's called business tourism. But as time changes, as market, that marketing is dynamic. As we start to market and start to sell, we use different ways and means. The same way as companies will change their pay plans, or they will change their campaigns and all those things. So it started as MICE, which is meetings, incentives, conferences, and exhibition. So that E also stands for events, and then it went to business tourism because it was quite an explanation of the business of tourism, the business of bringing people into a destination. So it can either be in an event format, in a conference format, or in an incentive format or exhibition. So that's why it is the business of tourism. But in a fancy way, all over the world they call it business events.
Absolutely. So business events, for you watching at home, wherever you are, we mean business with the business of events in Gauteng. You're the head of the Gauteng Convention Bureau. So what does the Convention Bureau do in a typical day, and also are your typical clients and what form of services do you provide to them?
As I've said, that our main aim is to bring people to the destination. Usually the business side of travel. So being the business side of travel, our daily work is to identify. I use the word mine. Mine means is to go in there,
so
dig deep.
We dig.
You dig deep down and mine for those particular events. And when you mine them, it's identifying them. And remember, in identifying them, there's a criteria for each and every destination. So Gauteng being a business destination with different sectors, and our high growth sectors will be aviation, manufacturing, financial sector, and then there are a lot of also headquarters that are based in Gauteng. such as the CSIR, the MTN, the IT and communication companies, the bank and financial sector, like the Johannesburg Stock Exchange. So we'll mine with them. So those will be our stakeholders that want to bring people into the destination, that want to bring business into that destination. They use that platform to connect into new businesses that leads to trade and investment. We bring people in order to make sure that we increase the economic impact of the province, including the taxes, the GDP, the customs, anything that will contribute to the economic impact of the destination. Besides, tourism.
Absolutely. So, that's a tall order. There's very much in the kitty there. So probably you want to take us through in this great work that the team is doing. Some of the major strides that the Convention Bureau over the years has recorded. Last time I saw one of the major global events. All the choirs came here and had a fabulous time. I grew up in a community where choral music was the order of the day every Sunday, and I will never forget that platform. But I guess there are many others that the team has worked on in bringing to the destination, and probably there are many others that are forthcoming.
Yeah, in the past few years, the Convention Bureau is only for maybe 4.5 years old. And in the 4.5 years old that we've worked, we've brought different events that contribute to the destination economic impact. And some of the events are not only for economic impact, but they are social anchors to the destination. They need to give back the pride to Gauteng citizens. So one of the biggest that we had was the World Choir Games. And it brought, 39,000 international visitors. And we had local visitors and sort of participants. Those were participants, 29,000. And the airport was like a different place altogether. And they stayed in the destination for 14 days. And the nice thing is that people will ask, where do you accommodate such people? We've got university accommodation, we've got B&Bs, we've got hotels, so it depends on the event itself. And we've got also several events that we've brought in, such as which is the automotive.
So this is the parts for cars.
The parts for cars.
Okay.
In the automotive industry. We also have African events that we partnered with the African Development Bank on the side of investments in Gauteng, because we really need to make sure that we, at the end of the day, we've got investments that contribute to our economy. So we had, 3 years of having the African Investment Summit in the destination, powered by African Development Bank and partly the World Bank. So we've got smaller events within the medical space, like the psychology conferences. We also have the gaming, events, exhibitions. But we also have our own local ones that we're growing and making sure that later on we export them.
Perfect. So, in a nutshell, I guess everybody who might be watching this, it might be buyers, it might be people from different associations that are probably linked to our 10 high growth sectors. What's forthcoming in the near future in the destination? As you have been cooking your pot, what's the menu like in Gauteng? Big and small type of events that will get us back on the recovery and probably into 2018, 2019 figures.
Okay, I'll start with there are certain events that are consumer to consumer, which are, your entertainment events, but entertainment in different sectors. We've got the Kalam 9 hour that we have in the destination for the next 7 years, which doesn't only contribute to the visitors, but also it contributes to the engineering space, manufacturing space, and everything that has to do with automatics. We also have the Automechanica, which is an exhibition, and we also have the World Constitutional Law Congress this year, where all the judges of the world will come and connect here for a few days and discuss their policies and other new trends. You've seen what has happened during COVID and during elections of different countries that makes the judges to rethink about the justice system and all that. So we are very excited to be hosting such events of that magnitude. We also have the energy side of things, which is the African mining and energy exhibition. That will be good for us, so that we activate the mining side of things. So they are, our pipeline is a bit full when it comes to what we will be hosting in the destination, especially on the business event side. Discom, which is the film and production on the audio side of the audiovisual side of things, is also one of the big ones that will be coming to the destination. And then on the side of sports, we've got what we call the IVA Cup, where it's a developmental project supported by La Liga, Manchester, and all other international, so that they have it within the destination. I think World Athletics is one of the big ones that we will be utilizing in our stadiums, making sure that our stadiums are white elephant, especially the athletic stadium. And what we are proud of at the moment that will bring a lot of eyes in our destination is the world drawing that is going to Roodeplaat.
I'm told it's going to Roodeplaat, and now I know Roodeplaat to be the venue for picnics and parties. I'm told you are turning it into a rowing mecca with the world pilgrimage.
Yes, rowing and camping. So we'll be inviting, families to come and spend the whole weekend in a campsite, and enjoy the water sport. So we'll not only concentrate on rowing later on, because the infrastructure is going to be improved in such a way that people can come for canoeing and all other water sports within that Roodeplaat dam. It's an exciting event, because it's not only going to be an event for people to enjoy, but we are going to benefit infrastructure and some legacy side of things, because there's going to be a African team, which is a South African team, that is going to be incubated by the association for 10 years and make sure that they reach the level of competing, from certain townships.
No, you can hear it's a mouthful, it's a bag full, it's a pipeline full, but as we all know, a pipeline will never be full. Others will be coming to fruition, being activated in the destination, and we will refill the pipeline. As we wrap up, Noni, your message to the people that I said might be watching this in association in just 30 seconds, how do they reach you, and what is your message to them, and what is in service from you and the team to them?
So what is in service is that we are open for business. We'd like you to come forward with your, with a collaborative or partnership events. And secondly, we would like you to help us identify more events that can bring more people into the destination. So we've got some financial and non-financial support that we work with our partners in order to bring these particular events. I know people sitting out there, they would like, I wanted to bring this particular event, but their bidding fund, their rights requirement is too high. So we open for business. Try us, and let's work together in order to bring more meaningful, high-end, high, value event into the destination. And in that way, we'll make sure that our youth, our women, and our SMME get business out of it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Noni. That brings us to the end of this inaugural show. I hope you have absorbed as much as possible. Do hit us on our social media channel at Visit Gauteng on Twitter and Instagram. I Love Gauteng on Facebook. Let the conversation continue. Share more insights on our LinkedIn page at Gauteng Tourism Authority. We really want to hear from more. But as we conclude, we say in Gauteng, we mean business with the business of events. Up until the next episode, ciao.